Okay, so in the previous section, previous class, we have discussed about how two switches were going to connect with each other. We have peer-to-peer connection established. How we assign the packets, IP address in that switches, system, and how we are going to check that IP address of the particular system, and how they are going to transfer the message or information, how we are going to get that reply message from that particular devices. So in this lab, in this session, we are going to configure the router with the help of a PC. For simulation, the GUI mode is also available, GUI mode is also available. We are assign the IP address for the particular process, particular devices. But in the real time, when you are working for as a network engineer or a system admin, we cannot directly configure that IP address in that with the GUI mode. So we need the configuration with the help of a PC or router. So for that purpose, how we are going to assign that configure the router with the help of a PC. So let's talk about configuration of a router with the help of a PC using the console cable. We cannot directly configure, we are not able to configure the router or switches with the help of a normal Ethernet cable. In place of that, instead of that, we are going to use the console cable. There is a separate cable option is available. Separate cables are available for configuring the networking devices. Let's see in this lab for the particular type of configuration. So here there is a environment already there. So we are going to remove that switch, select that, just click on it and delete it, remove, is gone. So now for that purpose we need some switches and PC. Okay, so for that purpose we need one router and one PC. Okay, for router where we are going to take it from here. For example, we are going to take a 1941 router. So after that we need one PC, select one PC and here. Okay, now two systems are there, two devices are there. So which cable we are going to use it? Already I mentioned that, already 2 minutes before I mentioned that to configure the router with the help of a PC means we need a console cable. So here, look at this, in the cabling option, connection, there is a lot of options are already available. So with the help of this first option, the simulation device, the particular networking device automatically choose the cable, the respective cable automatically. So don't go for that. For our understanding purpose, we have to choose the console cable. First click on that. Look at this. In the PC, there is a 4 ports are available. One is RS232, USB 0, USB 1 and fast Ethernet. Which one you are going to choose it? Is it correct process for fast Ethernet or which one? Is any idea about which port number which port we are going to connect with the console cable? Is a RS232, because when you are talking about the console cable, one end of the cable is available RS232 and another one end is normal VGA card like that. Okay, in here we are going to choose the, there is options are there, 4 ports are already available. One is auxiliary and console cable, Gigabit Ethernet 0.0, Gigabit Ethernet 0.1. So which one we are going to choose it? Console cable option, console port only. So now connection is created. Is it fine to transfer the data from system to router or router to system? Is it okay? Configuration over? Can anybody tell, anybody just about that the configuration process successfully completed? No. Why? We have connected the devices with help of two, one PC and one router. We have make a connection process only through the console cable. Now what we are going to do, we are going to configure the router. What is the meaning for configuration? We are going to make a router as a networking components. Means we are going to make the router to send the data, receive the data from one end of the networks to one end of the networks to another end of networks. So what we are now, we are going to create the configure the IP address for the particular router. So for that purpose, click on that PC. So there is options are available. There is a lot of options are available at the back end. It looks like a zoom in. It looks like a CPU back side of the CPU. There's options are available. There's RS-232. We are going to plug in that cable here itself. It's already connected. So what we are going to do? Going for the IP configuration, going for the desktop and the IP configuration. There's two options are there. One is a DHCP, another one is a static. What is the difference? What is the meaning for the DHCP and the static? Means DHCP means the expansion for the DHCP, dynamic host configuration protocol. The system is automatically assigned the IP address. It's not our business. We no need to give the IP address for the particular system. The system is automatically assigned the IP address from the pool of dynamic IP address. Okay, don't go for that immediately. We are going to assign the IP address for the router. Because we are going to create the separate network environment. So for that purpose, we have to choose the static IP. Okay, so which IP address we are going to choose it? There's a 4 type of classes are there. Class A, B, C, D, and E also. E is of main for the advanced method, advanced process. So don't go for that one. Maximum we are going to give the IP address from class A, B, C, and D. Okay, so here also I can, for our understanding, we can choose from class A, class B, class C, and class D. Okay. C. Okay, from that only, from these 4 IP classes only we are going to choose. This is just for our understanding purpose only. So it's not required now. We can easily move it. Okay. Not required here. For our understanding only I mentioned here. So we have to assign the IP address. So what we are going to do? Choose the system and directly go for the particular process. What we are going to do? This is the configuration process for the system. So what is our process? What is our objective? We are going to assign the IP address. We are going to configure the IP or router only. So what we are going to do? Choose the configuration or physical configuration or desktop. Close it. Using the terminal. This is the terminal configuration process. The normal is the default one. No need to change anything. This is a rate, packet transmission rate, port configuration, data bit rate, and parity bit. Everything will be updated. Everything is available. Default available. No need to change anything. Okay, just okay. Now the basic configuration, the router is applicable. Router is enabled here. The Cisco router is the BIOS. We are entering into the BIOS only. We are entering into the Cisco router BIOS. Okay, so it looks like a BIOS. So what we are going to do? The initial configuration is enabled or not. no need. If you are going to configure the initial configuration, it will take more number of time and it will be created some complex systems also. So simply put, type n and no, click enter, again enter, the router is enabled. This is the user execution mode. This stage is called as a user execution mode, which means router is we enter in the router class, we enter in the router configuration process. So next what we are going to do, next is there any idea? We are going to create a, we are going to start our configuration process for the router. So for that purpose, first process is we are going to type a command as enable, which means from that execution mode we are going to create a configuration process. Click enter. Now look at the variation. Look at the variation. The exclamation symbol is there. It is called a user execution mode. After that, after typing the enter, I mean enable mode, after typing enable and press enter, the hash symbol is come over here, which means it's a configuration mode. It's a configuration mode. From this process only, from this stage only, we are going to configure the router. What are the process, what are the terminal, what are the commands we are going to use it in that router. From here itself we are going to start. So first of all, we have to create a line configuration. So what's the command for the line configuration? Line console 0. This is the command for all the devices. One second. So configure, we are going to configure the terminal. For that purpose, configure terminal. Yes. Now check the command line console 0. Yes, line is enabled. We are going to start with the line configuration. Then click on it. Then login. Login disabled to 0 until the password is set. So we are not set the any password. There's a error first, which means why I type in here means I mean wrongly I typed here, which means we have to understand without the password creation, without the create of the, for security purpose, without creation of the password, without assigning the IP, I mean password, we cannot enter, we cannot anything modify. So the password is mandatory. So for that purpose, we are going to assign the password for the particular line. So what we are going to do, password console, password Cisco. For our recent testing purpose, I give the normal, I mean common password for the particular process. Now we are assigning the password for security reason in the particular console. Now check in. Now exit from that particular line. Now check in, login. So incomplete command. So what's the issue? What's the issue means we have to go with login itself. Line console 0, check login. Yes. Now connector. So command is where which command is going to use it for the which configuration mode, that we have to identify properly. Then only we can easily go for it. Okay. So now login is created. Now we enter in the phase, I mean configuration phase. After that, click on exit. We exit from the line. Okay. Now again exit from the line. Enter. So now we are in the user execution process to user, I mean configuration process. We enter. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we have to start our process for the particular instruction. Copy, run, start. try to avoid the spelling mistakes. Start destination file name, enter. Okay, which means we have copied the all the process. They are going to start our execution phase. For that only we are giving that particular command. Now it's okay, fine. Now we have to reload the router, which means we have to reboot the system again from starting onwards. We have to recollect the all the process. For that one, now we are restarting the process is happening. Wait for some time, it will take some 2 to 3 minutes. After that we are directly entered out. Yes, it's a configuration process completed, basic configuration process completed. Click on enter. Now it's asking for the password, which means we can click on the Cisco. Yes, the line password, the configuration for the router. First we create a password for the router. That password I given Cisco. Look at this. When you're typing the password is not appearing here. Okay, don't press a backspace or a delete button. The password doesn't appear. We have to type the password without any error. Okay, now it's working fine. So what's the next process? Everything's working fine. So now we are going to assign the IP address for the devices. Router, we enabled the router for a configuration state. Now what we are going to do? We are going to make a router for the networking enabling process. Click on enable first process, then configure terminal. No need to type all the process. Config T is the short form. You can click on, you can press it, you can give the short form and click enter. Automatically it will enter to the next stage. Here, before that, how we are going to identify what type of ports are available in the particular router? Because in the game mode we can easily just in the previous experiment we saw that just move the mouse cursor in that particular images. We easily see that what are the ports are available in the particular system. But in the real time mode it's not possible. So what for the purpose? For which port we are going to assign the IP address? How do you know? No idea. So what's the phase? What's the process? Just click on exit, enter. Now type the command IP. So interface interface brief. Look at this. This is the command. So IP interface brief. We can easily find that what are the ports are available in the particular router. We can see it. Look at this. This is the command. So IP interface brief. 3 interfaces are there. One is Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and another one is Gigabit Ethernet 0/1 and VLAN 1. So from that one we are going to assign the IP address. We are going to assign the IP address for 2 interfaces. One is Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and Gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Okay. So for that purpose, now we are in the configuration. Config T. No need to type all the configuration. Just click type 4 letter of config and press the tab button in your keyboard. Automatically the entire keywords will be displayed. Like that you can follow. Okay. After that, we are going to assign the IP address for the interface. Which one we are going to prefer? First I configure first interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Okay. Click enter. We entered the interfaces. We are going to, if you want to assign the IP address for the particular interface, we have to move on the simulation work. We have to enter in the particular port or interfaces. Then only we can assign the IP address. For example, like if you want to create some directory, if you want to execute, and command means we have to move on the particular directory, cd, like change the directory. After that only we are going to execute the program. Our program will be executed, otherwise it is not execute our program also. Like that, we can directly enter into the configuration mode, and we have to enter the particular interfaces also. Then only it is possible to configure all the process. So we enter the configuration, we enter the Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Now we are going to assign the IP address. What's the command? Anyone? IP address. Assign some IP address, whatever may be. You can choose the class A, class B, class D, or class C also. For our easy understanding, you can choose the 10 series. 10 series means class A. 10.20.40 default subnet mask. Each and every class IP address where there is a default subnet mask will be there. So for class A is a 255.0.0.0. Okay, awesome. No error. If there is no error in the particular command, means the command prompt go to the next level. Otherwise it will show some, like, look at this here, it's error, it shows some error, invalid input selection detector. But here there is no error, means automatically it go for the next line. Now what we are going to be assign the IP address. Is it fine? No. What's meaning? What we are going to do next one? We have to enable that IP address to the particular system. We configure, we assign the IP address. That port should be enabled. For what we are going to do for that purpose? No, the command for the particular process, no shutdown. Enter. Look at this. In previously, Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 unassigned, IP is unassigned, environment administratively down, protocol is down. Now what's the meaning? The interface of Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 changed state to up, which means from down state to it's converted to the up state, which means it's enabled successfully. The interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 is enabled successfully. Okay. Now enter. Now we completed the assigning the IP address for Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Now we are going to assign the IP address for Gigabit Ethernet 0/1 also. Okay. Same process. We have to exit. Now we are going to change the interfaces. Interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Enter. Is it fine? Okay. Look at the difference. Here we enter the interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Now we enter interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Now what's the next one? Assign the IP address. IP address. Here we can assign 10 point. Different IP address we can assign. Same for easy understanding purpose, we assign the same classes of IP address for two interfaces. 10.30.40.50 class A IP address. Default is default subnet mask 255.0.0.0. What's the error? Can anybody observe that? Because we assign the same set of IP address, same group of IP address we assigned. That's what is showing the overlaps with the Gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So change the IP address again. Creator, which means in the single router we are not able to create two different, same type of IP address. Okay, because 10 plus 10, Gigabit Ethernet 0.0 assign the same IP as a 10. Ethernet 2 also assign the same IP started with the 10. So it's showing some error message. So we change the different type of IP address. Okay, different IP address starting with the 10 in place instead of a 10, we assign the 11. Now we assign the success. Is it fine? No. What we are going to do? We have to enable, we have to activate our interfaces. To activate our interface, what is the command? No shutdown. Now change it to out. Can we check that interfaces whether it is correctly mapped or not? Can we check? How we are going to check? We have to check with the command of show IP interface. Okay, so IP interface brief. Can we check here? Is it okay? No. It will be take some error because it's not, we are in the interface position. From here we cannot able to check that interface. Can you check it? So IP interface, it cannot be forwarded. It cannot be forward also. The error should be there. Where it's showing the error? In the first command itself, the first word show itself is showing error. So what we are going to do? We have to exit from the interface. Exit. Now we can check. From here only we can check that interface's status. So IP interface brief. Enter. Look at this. We assigned two IP address for each and every different type of interfaces. First one is the 10.20.30.40 subnet mask 250.0.0.0 and the second interface 11. We tried to give the same IP 10 series. Okay, but it's showing some error because it's same IP address showing. So it is not possible. So we change the different IP address 11 series 11.30.40.50 subnet mask 252.0.0.0. Now it's working fine. Okay, this is the working procedure for assigning the IP address, to the router. Okay, now two different kind of networks can be created with the help of this process. Okay. Is it fine? Is there any clarification? If you want any clarification, any channel, use my mail ID, send the detailed mail. We will go through it for the clarification. Okay, this is the basic configuration setup for router configuration through the console cable. Okay, IP address is assigned. Look at this. Status completed. Two IP address assigned for two different Ethernet port 1 and Ethernet port 2. Okay, thank you.